1. Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2. Get some good, some food in you. Step 3. Think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4. Fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2. Get some good, some food in you. Step 3. Think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
I'm gonna say this loud enough for the people in the back. You know when your life's gonna change? When you stop running back to the things that God is trying to save you from. When you stop pressing rewind on the things that need to be deleted from your life. When you stop hanging on to the things that you know you need to let go of. Let me tell you this, moving on isn't always about knowing where you're going. It's about knowing where you're no longer staying and what you refuse to go back to. Straight up.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, hi, everyone. I missed you. I feel like I'm saying that more and more is I miss you guys. There's been a lot of stuff going on, you know, this holiday weekend, other things going on behind the scenes, other things that I'm obligated to do because as many of you know that watch YouTube, this is not the only thing I do in this world, right? So I had a lot of obligations over the last few days and was able to come in just here and there when I could to say hi to each and every one of you. So I hope you all had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend with your family and friends. I had the opportunity to actually be with some military people. And so that's where I chose to hang out yesterday. I chose to hang out with a retired military that lives next door to me and a whole bunch of his friends down at the Moose Lodge. We have several of them here, and across the area that I live in. And so it was just nice to spend time with people that have fought. They have family that have lost their lives. There was no other better place that I would have rather have been on Memorial Day weekend than with the true heroes of our country, their family, and even the Gold Star families. So it was very nice. I know there was a lot of events going on. I hope you guys were able to get out and catch a few in your own community. Good morning, Southern Grammy Wolf. Nice to see you, Kathy S. Who else do we have? Always watching. She finally got to catch a live from the West Coast. It's 4 a.m. Well, God bless you. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. I got to be honest with you. It has been truly a struggle. It has been a struggle for me. I appreciate all the love and support that I have been getting by text messages, messenger, emails, supporting this whole not vaping and getting off the nicotine. It's been a struggle, and it's crazy because there are a few other people I didn't realize in the chat that are doing this exact same thing. So I know that they're going through the same real struggle that I'm going through every day trying to kick this habit, and it is awful. It is awful. Right now, I'm so miserable that I swear I almost want to knock vapes out of people's hands that are walking by. I have to be honest with you. It's like, do you know what you're doing? This is the worst. This is worse. I don't even want to see it. Just get it away from me. And it was but I know I'm doing good because like even yesterday, being out there are people, being at the Moose Lodge, there's, they are drinking, they have live music there, they have burgers and hot dogs and the whole thing. And of course, when people drink, they've got to smoke. So I was around cigarette smoke. I was around people vaping yesterday, and I held it together and was able to eat my food. Oh, I got to tell you though, the one thing that I have noticed about this whole quitting is like I am stuffing my face. I woke up in the middle of the freaking night last night. Now, mind you, I had already had burger potato salad. I even made like this. I ordered $20 worth of hard candy. I ordered $20 worth of hard candy. I'm hoping it helps with some of this this stuff that I'm dealing with, right? So I'm noticing that if I don't go like sugar-free, fat-free, like I've got to have like carrots. If I need a munch, I need a munch on carrots. I can tell that this whole not smoking, not vaping thing, it can make somebody really gain weight and really gain weight fast, because I'm telling you, I have not stopped eating yet, and I've got to figure it out. So I'm stocking this house with like fruits and vegetables and, making myself miserable. Like I want chocolate cake, and I want chocolate cake now, but I have freaking asparagus. Okay. So guess what? We're eating asparagus, right? I don't know who else is in this boat with me, but I'm telling you, I'm going nuts here. I'm going nuts. But I'm doing it like a champ. I think I'm doing it pretty good though. I think I'm doing it pretty good. I'm not cheating. I have not bought another nicotine vape since I started. I've been good. I think today's a week. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. Oh, so good morning, Skittles. Skittles changed her name from Truthful Skull back to Skittles. I didn't even know you were Skittles or Truthful Soul, to be honest with you, Skittles. So we're good. 14 Judith. I don't do well with weird names. 14 Judita. morning, Pebbles. Nice to see you, Cool Gamer. Robert's girl. Nice to see you. Lisa McKay, it's nice to see you. Who cares? I do. It's nice to see you, and I care too. So it's nice to see you. Struggle is real. Good morning. Debbie says, what? Nice to see you, Sheila. Miss Stacy, it's nice to see you as well. Cranky old bitch. Oh, Lord, you guys crack me up. You guys crack me up. I can tell you guys miss me as much as I missed you. You can see it. You can see it. Joyce, it's nice to see you. May, good to see you. Amanda, it's nice to see you as well. Sonia, good morning, love. Good morning. But before we get, I see everybody else. If I missed saying good morning to you, there's Jennifer. Good morning, Jennifer. I will get around to saying good morning. Girl, it's nice to see you. Jimbo, Dilly, you will be fine once the cravings come. It takes 20 seconds to go away. Oh, my gosh. I stuffed my face with, thank God. I went over to my neighbor's house. I'm like, look, I said, I'm having a really hard time with this. He's like, I got sugar-free candy. I said, fill me up. I just grabbed handfuls. Fill me up. Beam me up, Scotty. I keep praying. I'm like, please, please, please just take these urges away. I was telling my best friend, I'm like, some of these get really bad too. It's almost like you almost get a fit of anxiety. Like it comes on in such a strong wave, and it's like, it almost takes your breath away. And it's like, holy crap. Like, I don't want to see nicotine ever again. This is rough. I did a huge barbecue, made steak, shrimp, chicken. Oh, geez, Melody, I needed to be over at your house. I'm at the wrong place. Clearly, I'm at the wrong stinking place. Good morning. Rocket Queen, I think I said it. Rhonda, it's nice to see you. Just trying to see if there's anybody else obsessed with true crime. We're all obsessed with true crime. That's why we're all here, right? That's why we're all here. Before I get started with the whole Bryan Kohberger thing, which the whole thumbnail was, we all, he likes knives. Who knew, right? At this point, who knew? I was just getting creative with a thumbnail. Didn't know what to put on it. So that's what I put on it. But one of our audience, Twin Mom, good morning, by the way, she's been really advocating, and monitoring and watching a case. And it's a case that's always been really odd to me. And I thought she sent me an email and let me know that this case is still active and ongoing, that nobody has helped. Oh, I don't want to say helped. That's probably the wrong word. There's been a lot of people that helped in this case, but nothing that's panned out. Let me say it like that. Nothing that's panned out. And this kid, his family's missing him dearly, absolutely dearly. And his name is Daniel. So here is the help find Daniel. We never really kind of dove into this case, unfortunately. We have advocated for it. We have brought awareness to it. We have put this, Daniel up on our screen in the past. It's just one of those cases that we've never, did really any, for whatever reason, I thought he would be found. And actually, to be honest with you, until this email came to me, I thought he was. I thought they had found him deceased for whatever reason. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought they did eventually find him, and they found him deceased. So I just never even really looked at, of course, with the Bryan Kohberger, the Summer Wells, the Michael Vaughn, you kind of get all, you get sucked into these, and you can only do so much. But we have advocated for Daniel in the past. We have brought his name up and his attention up, his face up on this channel to bring some information here. And this is the please help find Daniel.com. Please help find Daniel.com. So it really is a good website. They're asking for people that are willing to volunteer, donate time, donate money, provide information about this young boy's whereabouts. and some of the things leading up to his disappearance. So they're asking, please mail your PDF address. Okay, so they're asking you to letters for FOIA. Oh, I think that's maybe some people were sending them letters. But here, my work to find my son is not done. I need your continued help and dedication to my cause. Thank you to all who have contributed in many forms to help me continue my fight. The fight is not in vain. My son remains missing. His case is far from a cold case status. I need your help to keep law enforcement from handling it that way. So he's asking for all the audience, anybody that can help, guide, help keep a spotlight on this and keep this case from going cold. Please do so. And just for everybody, while I'm reading this, I'm not going to be able to read the chat. So I'll try to go back once I'm done reading this and maybe catch up on the chat and get your, answer any questions that I'm able to answer related to this or other cases. So just bear with me as we read through this so everybody can be caught up about this case. How can you help keep the fight for Daniel and others? I have been blessed to have a team of people who look to Daniel as their own, their son, their aunts, their aunties, or their uncles. Daniel is America's son. What happened to my family happens to families all across this country. Help me stand up to the system that allows Americans to be missing without a trace. We can find our enemies in other countries, yet we cannot find our citizens on our soil. This has to change. That gave me goosebumps reading that. That literally just gave me goosebumps. So many Americans have been seeking answers for years to what happened to their loved ones. In all these cases, people of color have been impacted at a greater rate. No American should be alienated from attention, action, and resources because of the color of their skin. My mission is to close that gap. I'm in my fight for Daniel. I started a petition many of you signed supporting my cause and advocacy. My efforts are to help families not suffer in pain that my family and I have had to for almost 2 years because of the lack of immediate attention that we needed from law enforcement on day one of reporting. I am dedicated to seeing that all cases of missing are treated equally with the same vigor given to others with racial, economic, and social status. I will fight to see that new infrastructures are created to lower the number of cold cases created every year because of the lack of funding, training, and resources needed for a good outcome. If these things are in place, I do not doubt my son would have been found long ago. Please support my bid to do more for my family and every American citizen. Other issues in America also impact Americans that need advocacy and attention by those in position to create change in this country that will help everyday Americans see better days. I feel that those efforts have to start somewhere. We cannot sit back and watch things happen without applying action to our faith. Sometimes we have to decide to stand up and do something about it. Yes, well, welcome to the Bullhorn Betty channel. Many are called, but few are chosen to create and fight for those changes. David Robertson II. So you can go on this website and help and advocate. This is a father that is begging for help, and we see it every day. I mean, let's talk about something that's active and open. Now, I'm not going to get into the racial conversation. I obviously don't. I personally have not experienced. So I don't know, right? At the end of the day, we don't know if they're advantageously affected or not, whether they're excluded or not. I personally don't see it, but that doesn't mean that's not how they perceive it or how he's perceiving it. He's obviously saying there's a difference in the color of skin and how they're getting advocacy. I have experienced it in part with Kathleen Moore. You guys remember Kathleen Moore? It was like one of the second cases or third cases I ever covered, right on the heels of Gabby Petito, months after we were out there. And she was a beautiful Black girl, young Black woman, I should say, not a girl. But she had some dings in her past. You know, she wasn't a pristine Gabby Petito, right? And nobody was out there. There was no media out there for her. I remember getting in that road and I'm like, what am I going to do here? You know, I'm not an identity type of person. I'm not, you know, into all that. You guys know that. But I did. I ended up going out in the road and calling Bay News 9 and Hey JB. I called Hey JB a racist. I did. I was so angry and so frustrated that we had news that was just camped out in front of Gabby Petito's house. And here we have this other woman that's just disappeared off the face of the earth after visiting her on again, off again boyfriend. She just disappears. And you can't even, and then, you know what pissed me off the most? Excuse my language. I know you're in here. Turkey man, I know you're in here. But what ticked me off the most is when JB said, you know what, we cover the cases that our audience, look, you're the news. You make you inspire people. That's what the news is about. You inspire your audience to pay attention to these type of cases. To sit there and tell me that we're really sorry, but you know, there's just not a lot of attention to this case. Well, no crap. That's what we need you for, buddy. So I was hot under the collar when I heard him say something like that. And I just went live and I'm just sitting there screaming at him. I'm like, what? You guys can sit in front of Gabby Petito's house for 5 weeks, but what? Is she not white enough for you? Is this Black woman not white enough for you? Why are you guys being racist? I got to say, within an hour, we had news people out there. I have to be honest with you. We had news people out there. So this is something that I don't understand because I don't experience it, right? You can't understand an experience of somebody else without experiencing it. Many of us will never experience what this man is talking about, right? However, he is crying out for help. He wants justice, and I can identify with it because look at Dana Smithers, right? Look at Dana Smithers. And he's right. We can find, what is that? What is that guy's name? Bin Laden? Osama bin Laden? We can go find him in a flipping cave in the middle of nowhere. But we can't find a person that's missing on our own soil. That I can identify with. That I can understand. I think that everybody can understand that. Because here we have Dana Smithers. Let's talk about her. 200 yards from her home. 200 yards from her home. And was missing almost a year to the day when they found her. 200 yards from her home. Kylie Rodney. Literally 14 feet from where she disappeared from. And they couldn't find her for weeks. So, I mean, yes, I can identify what he's trying to say. But it also happens to everyone, and I'm glad he's bringing this up, that we can find these things. We can find people across this country, in other countries, around the world, but we can't even find our own missing here. And that I agree with is lack of training, lack of resources, lack of money, right? All the things that we need to do this. And I'm not going to get into a political argument, but I am going to take one more stab. And it doesn't help when we leave, billions of dollars over for the bad people to get it. That billions of dollars could have helped at least find one American person here on our soil. Just saying. But I digress. So I will try to look into this a little bit more with Daniel Robinson. We will, or David. Is it David? No, that's from his dad. So Daniel is the one missing. He's right here. Good looking kid. Been missing for a really long time. He disappeared out. Where did he disappear out? I think it's Arizona. I'm pretty sure it's Buckeye, Arizona PD. The Buckeye, Arizona PD is where, but look at that beautiful landscape behind him. It is my understanding that again, this is going off memory, but he was a cockroach and blackbird cameras found Osama. We not use them to find our children. Yeah, but you know what? What's upsetting me is that we're here in 2023. We're sending billions of dollars overseas, billions of dollars every year overseas, and we don't even have the necessary infrastructure in these desolate areas with, Wi-Fi. And I'm sorry, but they've removed all payphones. So where the heck do you go in case of an emergency? How the heck do you get help in a case of emergency when you have no payphones and you have no internet or cell service? What do you do then? What do you do then? It seems to me that our country has a lot more bigger issues to be dealing with here on our own soil. And just like his dad says, we can find these people. Why aren't we putting this stuff in so we can find our lost here? It's just, to me, it's just sad. It's just sad. And that this boy's probably, gone. It's been 2 years. He would have surfaced by now, right? There's no way that if he was injured that he would be able to care for himself, all this time out in the middle of the desert. So, I mean, when you have to put the pieces together and you don't want to just, extinguish hope, but you got to look at this from a realistic standpoint. And, he could have been helped. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And this is just another face along with many that disappear across this country, guys. And I can tell you personally, on this journey that I've taken, in going through all this and getting information about these true crime cases and getting information about these children that are leaving and obviously the trafficking being something that Diz brought up. This is a person that's a little older, but you never know. Anything is possible, but I don't believe that to be the case here. But what I am trying to say is I never believed, and this is where some of my advocacy is coming in at our more of a governmental level, is our numbers of these trafficking type situations, right? Traffic situations. And seeing kids blindfolded and in cars, they were still alive. I mean, the photos that I looked at were still alive, but seeing them blindfolded and tied up and left in cars because they were almost caught, and these are young children. Those are things that are happening here on American soil that we do not know anything about. And I blame mainstream media for that. I blame mainstream media for failing to report these cases. And big news organizations, right? Because they have little, like ABC has all these little conglomerates. These are the local TV stations. And then they have their big powerhouse, like their ABC Action News or whatever their main show is. Like Fox News is Fox News, right? But they own all these little news organizations, local news organizations across the country. Just like News Nation. News Nation also, as a parent company, owns a lot of news across this nation, different local news. And so it's really upsetting when I come across these images and these stories that I'm finding on Google, and I'm scratching my head and saying, why did we not hear about this? Why did this news pick up? Because I know that if YouTube heard about it, it would have been across every single person in the true crime industries, even probably some that don't cover true crime, seeing some of these images of a child being left in a car after being taken by coyotes or other type of people. And they're just left. And thank God they're found. And this is going on in our country, and we are not hearing about it. So who do I blame? I blame the news. I blame mainstream media, because I guarantee you if a YouTuber heard about that, it would be out. It would not be quiet. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we don't know what happened to Daniel. We do know he disappeared and he's never been seen again. We hope the best. We hope, but statistically, this is not going to be a good outcome. But we still want his father to have answers. We still want his father to know what happened, and we still want his father to have closure related to his son. And if anybody hurt a hair on this boy's head, Daniel deserves justice. So if you've seen him anywhere, if you're in the Arizona area, if you've heard anything, please, please, please call the Buckeye Police Department and submit your tip at the tip line. If you want to go anonymous, you can go to the anonymous tip line, but please do something. So I appreciate you guys allowing me to take you guys on a little tangent. I hope I didn't have a whole lot of information, Twin Mom. I did get your email, and I didn't want you thinking I missed it. So at least we were able to give him a few minutes on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Hopefully, Country D says Grizzly True Crime has been on this story. So Grizzly has really been covering. I'll go over to Grizzly's and see if I can get some more updated information then, and then just kind of do my own little, digging and seeing what I can sleuth up. And, maybe I'll cover this a little bit more. I'm trying to manage my cases. And so I'm really only accepting and carrying on 3 cases at one time at the moment. And right now, that's obviously the Idaho 4, Maddie Kingsbury, and I can't remember the third one. It's been a few days, but I'm collecting information, on another case, and also working something else. So, oh, you're welcome, Twin Mom. I love you, and I appreciate your love and support as always. And like I said, I really had gotten disconnected from this case. I honestly thought that they found him deceased. I for whatever reason, I don't know why, for the life of me, but I did. I thought that they had found him like a year and a half, but clearly I was thinking of somebody else. So he seems like an exceptional young man. I hope he is found. I have to agree. If I remember correctly, he was a bright kid. For whatever reason, I can't remember but he was like some kind of like researcher or some, like he seems like he was smart. It almost makes me wonder if he stumbled across something he wasn't supposed to stumble across. There's got to be a lot of things that go on in these deserts and mountain areas where that aren't really accessible to a lot of people, or that the outsiders wouldn't really know about. And it makes me just feel like, it just makes me feel like he stumbled across something. He was young, 20 something. Hold on here. I know they have his age in here somewhere, but he was a young, just getting started in his life. Golly, how old was he? 24? Archaeologist. Yeah, that's what I remember too, like an archaeologist. That's what makes me think there's something more here. Or a geologist. The Twin Mom says geologist. Twin Mom's been covering this. I'd have to think that Twin Mom, yeah, but it's something like that. So here's some ideas. Here's some ideas. So first of all, that kind of profession, it's a love profession. It's not one that you're going to be ultra rich by having. The geologist and archaeologists, believe it or not, are not very, the ones that make it, they get paid really good money. But when you're starting out and you're at these sites, you're not really making a whole lot of money. You're working off donations and things like that. But there could be some things here when you talk about this stuff. So it might be there are a few things. When you start hearing about geologists and stuff like that, you know that they go in groups. It's usually one that happens by oneself. Like, he's not going out there by himself typically. Now, I could be completely wrong. There are different situations here. But as I'm processing this, and now we're knowing he's still gone, he would have been out there in an environment that was desolate, typically, with other colleagues. He's disappeared. He doesn't, if he's not from around there, he doesn't really know anybody. Nobody would have any motive, means, or opportunity to do anything to him, or would they? Is this something where, and we've heard this before, where we've had coworkers do something? Maybe the coworker tried to manipulate data. Maybe Daniel said, this dude's lying. This is not what he's supposed to be. There literally could be a number of things. But hearing that he was out there on a geological project or an archaeological project, I'm hearing team personalities and things of that. So my mind is starting to gear toward that. And we know that 90% of the time, it's usually somebody that we know that causes us great harm. So it makes me wonder who was in and around him, who was the last person that saw him, where was he, who made the report? Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, again, there was possibly a car accident or something weird that went on around his disappearance. Am I correct about that, or am I mistaken that with some other case? It was just them two, him and another. So there was two people, one person came back alive. Staged his car. That's personal. That's personal. Who was he with? Car found crashed. That's what. Okay, so I am thinking. Okay, good. You never know with me, right? So just to let you know, I have read this case. All right. I'm going off this by memory, but yes, an accident. Okay. So, and I remember there was something odd about the accident, but I was remembering that there were also some reports from somebody that came in. Who were those somebody? Who was he with? This is starting to sound like, forgive me. Maybe they've already cleared this other person he was with. I don't know. But this seems ultra personal. Clothes found near the car. I want to know who those people are, because if he was walking off dazed, let's talk about this. So let's say that he was out there. So this could really go both ways. This could go into theory one, where I was saying he walked across something and he wasn't. Talking about wrecking and being dazed, he could have been injured. He could have had a gunshot. He could have been stabbed, and that could have caused the wreck. And maybe he, especially if it was a head injury or something, not thinking clearly, stumbling, those types of things. Dad has a YouTube channel. Okay, well then, and I saw that because but I didn't want to play the YouTube event with his father because, it's his father's YouTube. But I will go over there and check out, or maybe send me, Twin Mom, send me the link to his YouTube page if you have it handy. It'd be really good. I gotta go, guys. All right, May, well, you have a wonderful day. I'm glad you got to come over and hang out with us for a little bit. Thank you. Oh, could have been drunk. That's another possibility. Going out there, working really hard, tipping a few back after archaeologist and geology type stuff, that's hot work out in a desert. So yeah, you can kind of see the tipping back. So it's possible that there may have been some alcohol involved. That could have happened. But to wander off into the let's play this whole entire tape through with this particular case, and then we're going to go and get some updates on Bryan Kohberger. And you know what? Actually, we'll have a breakup, and we'll open the phone lines up to somebody that may want to talk about this case. Twin Mom, you're more than welcome to call in and give us some information about it. But definitely would like to advocate more for Daniel. I did not realize he was still missing. I can't keep track of all the cases. I'm only one person, right? So we can't keep track, but that's why we have such a great team here. Everybody's part of it. Thank you so much, Graham, for the super sticker. Let me put that up there. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. So, we do have something to go, but the story just doesn't make sense. And I don't like stories that don't make sense. I just don't like them. Because there's something there there's a bridge that's missing. To get us from point A to point B, there's something missing. And this is one of those cases when I read it. Oh, thank you from Australia. Well, God bless you. One day I'm going to go. One day I'm going to go, right? Everybody knows I'm terrified of going to different countries, but Australia, I would make an exception for, just like the UK. I would make an exception. I got to get the passport, right? I got to get the passport. I might get denied as the most dangerous person on YouTube. Sorry, guys. I was watching this. It was a bunch of people. I gotta say this. I don't like bringing it up, but it was hilarious. It was hilarious. I swear. These people had a whole live. I'm not lying about me and the monetization. Now, mind you, I've earned monetization on my channel. Okay, earned it fair, earned it the right way. And they're like, she turns on her advertisements. Like, and sometimes, I mean, God, sometimes she doesn't even put the skippable ads on. Oh my God. Like, yeah, like YouTube has settings for a reason. So when I bring up, stuff that nobody has, yeah, I'm going to advertise the hell out of it, because that's a lot of hard work that I just did just for some person to come up and steal it. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that those ads are on there, honey. Yeah, I am. But it's so funny. Now, mind you, why this same person is sitting there complaining about my ads, right? An ad pops up. I have YouTube Premium on this one, right? YouTube Premium on this one. But on my Bullhorn Betty, crime stories, I don't have YouTube Premium. So as I'm listening to this person complaining about my advertisements, an advertisement pops up. These people, another person gets a free gift from an audience member. And then under it's like, I wonder how Bullhorn Betty's going to be grifting. It's like, honey, you're doing exactly what you're sitting here complaining. Like, these people are so stupid. Like, they're literally so stupid and so petty. Guess what, folks? Sit down. I'm gonna have to break this down for you. See, you gotta have to sit down, because I don't want you fainting. I don't want you fainting. Are you guys ready for this? Are you ready for this? I collect a paycheck from YouTube. Oh my God. OMG. I make money. Who knew? Right? Who knew? I know, it's shocking. It's shocking. Guys, like I said, I don't want you fainting. I don't want you fainting. Yeah, I know it's shocking. Right? And here's something even more shocking. The people that talk about me making money, they make money on YouTube too. Oh my gosh. Super chat, I thought that was the devil's money. Yeah, they make that too. I know, it's shocking. It is shocking. They get free stuff from their audience too. I'm serious. As a heart attack. I'm like, I know, it's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Who knew? Sorry, guys. I just wanted to make sure, we are a transparent channel around here. I mean, just in case you didn't know. Apparently, they think you don't know. All right, we're done playing. All right, done playing. Let's get on to real stuff. Oh Lord, I got some funny stuff for you.
It was our neighbors.
Who did it?
Yeah, we thought it was our neighbors.
Why?
Because they were cleaning their cars
Early in the morning.
Yeah, bleaching. It might
Bleach is
still
still
be
on the
out
porch.
What kind of car?
It was a red one.
It's a tiny little red car.
My husband came home from lunch and he points that they were out there
cleaning it. I remember the FBI came here and was asking me because I left a tip.
Wait, so the FBI came because you called to say,
The tip line.
hey, what kind of car?
It's just a beater is all I know.
A beater?
Yeah, there's 2 red cars, and
Hey, there was a guy cleaning it up with bleach?
Yeah, with bleach, and he left the trash open and or not open, but it was partially open. The lid wasn't shut all the way, and the paper towel and stuff was hanging out of it.
They called the tip line and they said
And the bleach was still sitting there. It's still sitting there. That one car still has not been back.
I don't think this has anything.
The red car.
The red car. There's another red one over there, but that's not the one.
Okay, so there was a red car here, and it's now gone. Mm-hmm. Did it leave right that day?
It left the night they bleached it.
Were they bleaching around noon?
Yeah.
The next day, and then
So
that
this
night
goes
it disappeared?
into the alternate person theory, which I do not believe. I don't believe that this existed. I don't believe that this happened. I mean, I don't know how many people wash their cars with bleach, but I can tell you it's not that many. And people that do wash their cars with bleach, there's a problem. Just saying. So this is going kind of. I follow Sarah. I like her. I do like her. And I feel that she, there's been a lot of hate coming her way because of some stuff that she said, or providing her opinion or her guidance in a particular case. And I got to say that I do like Sarah. She's an attorney. Like, she's going to give you her opinion of the law. She's going to give you, that's what it's all about, is that you read the law and you decide what that law means. And when there's a conflict between you and the state, or you and somebody else related to that law, you take it to court, and a court oversees those arguments. And so it's all about interpretation. And there's many legal interpretations, legal opinions, and legal arguments, no matter what side of the aisle that you are on in that argument, whether you're pro the argument or against the argument, you still have a lot of information at your disposal. Well, Sarah gets under attack a lot because she is providing her understanding of the law. And usually that when it comes to attorneys, that's based on the statute, that's based on other things like rules of civil procedure. She may be deriving some information from that. She might be looking at some case law related to that, and some other things related to that. And, she's giving her overall opinion. That is no way in the world where her overall opinion should be condemned. She's just, but I digress. I just wanted to say I do like Sarah. I think she's very smart. She provides a lot of information, and good information. So she's writing here in this one. So I grabbed it and decided to show it to you guys. Oh, I forgot. I need to open up the phone lines, and then I'll open up the phone lines. Yes, it can go too far, especially when it deprives an accuser of their right to a fair trial. And it says, eviscerating the presumption of innocence. We saw it happen to Alec Murdaugh. We're seeing it in this case against Bryan Kohberger. I don't believe Alec Murdaugh got an unfair shake. I really think his 100% defense attorney with Dick H. vibes, although she is very smart, yes. And so I got to be honest with you that she is really smart. But I disagree. I think Alec has had a very fair trial. They were able to use the rules and carry out the stuff that they were able to use the rules and carry out the stuff with. Primarily, they were able to, bring in this is what the Supreme Court was talking about when they said less restrictive measures. You can change venue. You can bring in your jury from outside sources. There is so much out there to help make sure that even in high profile cases get a fair trial, that there is no excuse in cutting the public out of a public trial. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's overly broad. This judge knows about it. He knows he's going to have to modify it. He is scratching, clawing, and fighting just right along with the defense and the state in trying to keep this all under wraps. But the law is the law, and even the judge is going to have to come to Jesus, because I'm sorry, he is being hindered by the law. He may not like the law. He may feel it's prejudicial to this guy's rights to fair trial, but you cannot, if your freedom of speech and right to fair trial are equal, you cannot put his right to fair trial above freedom of speech, just like you cannot put freedom of speech above his right to fair trial. It has to be together. And what they are doing is wrong, and it's unlawful under the Constitution. And the judge is going to have to make changes. There's not a doubt in my mind that this judge is going to make changes to this non-dissemination order. It's whether everybody can live with it. If he still tries to restrict the media will have it, and they will go back to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will get given them a more firm order. You can't catapult, just like the media couldn't catapult from the bottom to the top and take it directly to the Supreme Court. The judge can't catapult to the top and use the most restrictive means appropriate or by law to stop the dissemination. They cannot do that when there's not an issue. They're assuming there's going to be an issue, and they're preventing it. You cannot preventatively cut people's rights off when something hasn't happened yet to make that possible. There is nothing that's incited it yet. They're doing this preemptively, and that's where they're going to have a problem explaining to the Supreme Court and the higher courts. There's a happy balance. The courts are putting all their weight on the right to fair trial, while the media is putting all their weight to the freedom of the press. It's a little disheartening to see the judge not being almost biased about this situation. That's the way I'm going to take it for now, is that he's being biased, because I feel while he was wagging his finger at the media saying, you're just looking at the First Amendment, he should have been wagging his finger at himself saying, you're only thinking of just the fair trial aspect. They're both the same. So they have to, why is this not blocked? Oh, I think hold on a second. I accidentally hit the wrong person. Be Betty fan. I just deleted you. I'm so sorry. Be Betty fan. I think you're going to be. I'm so sorry. I just switched you back, but I think you might be blocked for 5 minutes. I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It was one of those things where I was blocking somebody and it moved up, and I got you. And B Betty fan can't even sit here and laugh at me because she's timed out. I'm sorry. B Betty fan's gonna be like, I'm blowing this popsicle stand. Screw Betty. Oh Lord. That's too funny. I'm sorry. B Betty. I really, really, truly am. Whenever you can talk to me again. Oh, before we get too far into this, there was a couple things that I wanted to say, because last week I wasn't watching my mod chat, and there was a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes that I didn't see. And by the time I got done, and remember, I'm a little off my game because this whole stopping vaping thing, it has really been miserable for me. I will promise you, it's been very miserable for me. You know, it's been very miserable for me because I have been doing staying off of YouTube while I'm going through this because I don't want to snap on somebody. So I'm good. So Debbie says, what gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership last week on the 27th. So I do apologize for not calling you out. I do appreciate that. Tammy also provided one Bullhorn Betty membership, and I'm so sorry for not bringing you up as well. So I just wanted to make sure. Let me make sure I don't have any other ones on here. Oh, I do. I'm missing a few other ones here. We also had Nurse Sandy gift 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. Thank you and God bless you for that. And that was on the 26th. And we had Lady O membership. Oh, she gave a milestone, and it said thanks Jennifer first, and Nurse Sandy second gift membership. So again, thank you guys for your gift membership. So thank you. And Jennifer, I believe you, did I call you out? No, I did not. And I don't know how many gift memberships you gave, but I know it was a plethora of them. Be Betty fan. She's probably still blocked. Is she back? Oh my God, I feel so bad. There you are. Okay, Be Betty fan's alive. She survived. She survived the block. I'm so sorry. I looked down. I'm like, did I do that? I had to have done that because the person I blocked wasn't blocked. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It happens. It even happens to me. You know, that's why I say if you get blocked or something, don't get all frustrated and been out of shape yet, because sometimes that's exactly what happens. You're here, you're trying to block somebody else, and it moves up on you right when you're clicking, and you get the person below it. And that's what happened here. So it happens. I'm glad it happened to somebody that understands. That's all I gotta say. Somebody could have really had a bad day. All right, so let me open up the phone lines. Let me chat with you guys. I haven't really talked to you, my family, in forever and ever. Amen. I've been struggling with this whole nicotine thing. And then, of course, we had the whole holiday weekend thing. So I really wanted to make sure that I spoke to somebody else. So give me just a second. Let me pull this back so I can get our phones up, and then a bitter pill to swallow. Good morning. I need the song. That I don't know what song I need. Okay, no, we do not need that. Do we get that? Alrighty, crikey. All right, guys, we have the phones open. If you'd like to call about Daniel Robinson, if you'd like to call about Alec Murdaugh, I'm going to read what Sarah had posted. It was just up here. And it basically says the true crime genre has helped put renewed attention on cold cases, sometimes even bringing new evidence to light. But can it go too far? And so they weigh in that particular information. This is Betty. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Betty.
I knew it was Turkey Man. I am so sorry. I saw your text, and I just had one of those weekends.
It's okay. It was a long weekend, and we've all been busy. I know I've been busy, and I just wanted to tell you, I hope you have a good one.
I think it's going to be good. I really do. I'm feeling much better. Kind of the clouds are, it's still a little struggle daily, but I can feel everything. I feel good.
Well, I think it with anything, you've had a problem with things you had in the past, and you had to deal with them as a day-to-day thing,
right?
And so it's no different than this.
Yeah.
And it's a day-to-day thing, and. But I was a couple of things I was gonna run up the flagpole with you there. It'll be almost a year, close to it, the Kylie Rodney case. And I look at my year with you guys, and watching you, and there's so many things that I can think of. I don't think that the little kid, that Simon, the kid that they put in the dumpster,
Quentin,
Quentin Simon. I don't think that would have been even looked at much. if it hadn't been for you guys. I
Oh
really don't.
no, it absolutely would not, because even their own local media wasn't even hardly running the case.
Well, look at how much the Kylie Rodney, how much that was there, and we know. I mean, it don't take a rocket science to figure out that there was some people knew what happened, and they let that thing slide right through with all of the media and the pressure, because you get a local justice and those local people that just kind of shut it down.
Yeah.
Have the power within, and I don't think enough pressure could be put on some people sometimes to even change.
And I never want to, people have to deal with, their trauma separately, but I never quite understood Kylie's mom in all of this, wanting, it just doesn't, I know she probably just didn't want to deal with it, and maybe, over time she may change, but I just, telling the kids something was off with that whole case. And I just couldn't, it just seemed like somebody else was driving, and it's almost like mom didn't really want to know. I don't, maybe that was how she healed. I don't know. I just don't understand it. Like, I want to know everything.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff about that whole thing. And the only person that seemed like is two people, the grandpa and the father of that. And I really, from being a dad, I wonder just exactly, you just don't know what you would do in that situation.
Right.
And, you really don't. And, you was talking there a while ago when you said what you said, Turkey Man's here. Well, see, we all have our breaking points, no matter who you are. And I remember, I'm going to tell this a story right fast. I'm going to get off, but got to let somebody else on. But I thought about this when you was talking there. It was one year we had a freeze here in East Tennessee, and our daughter was home. It's been probably 10 years ago. And we was needing money. We was, not, financial stuff. And the wood pile was getting low. So we had a fireplace. Wood pile was low. It was emergency type thing. And it come in and it froze, and it took our heating air unit out. And it's down zero range. Well, I had thought a guy was coming to take care of the heating air unit, and I had feeding the fireplace. I stayed up all night. I didn't sleep around the clock. I fed that fireplace, because if I let it go down and didn't keep dripping the water, then it was going to freeze up. And we had just had a couple heaters to put in the bathroom, and one of them burned up, so I was down to one heater, and you couldn't buy one at the store because of all the going across the East Tennessee and Tennessee and across the South. It even got down in you guys there at that time. And but anyhow, I bought it, and my wife and daughter, they was sleeping covered up, and I was feeding the fireplace and keeping it going. And finally, the guy said, "We're coming. We're putting in the heat in our unit." I kept the water from freezing and all that. And I'm sitting there talking to my daughter. I put the last stick of wood I had in the fire. Now, it sounds made up, but it's true. I had 1 or 2 sticks of wood I put in the fireplace, and then it was going to go down big time, because they was going to put the heat and air unit in, and it'd be a few hours before they got it going. Well, they pulled around the back, and the guy got under the house, and the first thing he did was raised up and busted that water pipe that I had worked to keep my water freezing. And I'm talking to my daughter. I said, the Lord's got a way. You got a plan. And I was doing all this coaching. And about that time, the guy said, "Where's the cutoff valve? I busted your water pipe. 3 nights I stayed up to keep this water from busting." And I busted. And then I went. I went. I went. Bleep. Oh, I went. So I'm saying that, each one of us had that. But my daughter today He does not let me live that down. I'll be talking, oh, yeah, Dad, yeah. He was, the Lord's got a plan. He was this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And then that guy said, I bless you, water line. Help, turn it off. And I went, woo, right to the ceiling. Bleep, 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 bleep. So, you know, we're human, okay?
Yep.
And we all have a water pipe bust every once in a while.
Yep. And you know something,
That makes sense.
I also find that, you know, it humanizes. It's like nobody's perfect. And I always tell everybody, you know,
No.
I'm one of those Christians that know I need God daily.
That's right. It's just pick up that cross daily. It's right.
Yep.
It's a day-to-day program.
Yep.
Just like what you're talking about with your vapor. Vape.
Oh, it's so hard, but I know I need to do it. I've been saying it for years, and it's like I get close, but I never quite just, it's like, this is one that I want to battle and I want to succeed.
Well, I tell you, it can happen.
Yep.
I had dipped tobacco or chewed tobacco all my life. Okay. And I mean, it's one of them habits I did.
Mm-hmm.
And when I accepted the call to preach, you know, about 5 years ago, I guess, Ben, then I felt that I needed to do something about it. But I tried, but I laid it down with the conviction of praying about it and understanding it was day-to-day problem, day-to-day deal. And people are amazed, but I couldn't have done it alone. I mean, just like you couldn't have done it, the stuff you had to deal with.
Oh no.
We all have our skeletons, so to speak, we have to deal with.
Yep.
But it's a day-to-day, just one day at a time. That's all you got, one day at a time. And those things, those two, it'll pass. But we're stronger than we think we are sometimes, you know.
Oh, I know. It's just that, you know, when it comes to strength, I always say, I wish God didn't trust me so much. But this is one I'm putting on myself, you know, and a lot of people are like, is this, you know, do you really want to do this now? You know, all this stress you got. And it's like, you know what, this is how it's one of those things when you're ready. And it's like, you got to strike when the iron's hot. And it's like, I'm tired. I'm determined, you know, and I just want to just get through this. And I pray a lot. I'm like, God, just please take this withdrawal. Like I've been praying a lot. I can tell you that it's been rough.
Well, anyhow, did you have a good Memorial Day weekend?
I did. I got to hang out with some of the cutest military people I know. I was at the Moose Lodge with all of my older friends, enjoying the day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had a funeral this past week, and I've had to bury or do the service for 3 at one of our veterans cemeteries out here close. And so I went over there after we got through. I told my wife, I said, I want to take my camera and go down and I want to go to the grave that where the person that was buried, and I want to get that. But also I want to do a tape so I can maybe put it out on my YouTube channel. And so I took pictures, played my harmonica a little bit, you know. And there's a young man that I got to interview. He come up and I got to talk to him. He come from Afghanistan, and he comes to pay respect to his friend, and so I did that, and I'm looking forward to putting it up. I hope it you know, some people will get a hold of it. They'll look at it, because, you know, free is not free.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. And people realize and take for granted what we have and what we have an opportunity to do, what you have an opportunity to do. We have an opportunity to talk to one another like we're doing now. It's a price been paid for that. And we need to understand that we're all in this thing together, and we need to start rolling the same direction every once in a while, you know?
Yeah.
But Miss Betty, I'll get off because I know those people in, and but you keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm just going to roll over to a couple new little things, and it's going to be time for me to get off. So Yeah, you have an amazing day, and I'll send you over a video starting next week.
All righty. Thank you much.
You're welcome. God bless.
You do. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Aw, we love Turkey Man. Gobble, 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 gobble. We love the Turkey Man. Also, I know what I was going to say is last year, Ricky was trying to get something on. Let me turn this off just real quick. Ricky Beavers was trying to get something to go on for the veterans last year. And I got sidetracked, asked me to be part of it. And I said, sure, not a problem. If you wonder why I got a basket here, it's what's holding my coffee. Keep from spilling. Right? So we have ways of handling stuff. But anyways, so Ricky was he was trying to get something together. It just didn't work out where we were all together doing this veterans event. But I think it would be really good. I think if we work on trying to do something next year, well, I guess later this year, really, and getting with Ricky and going ahead and planning that. But I definitely want to bring in, like, say, Dolly Vision, Ricky Beavers, and then we have Turkey Man. I think that would be a great opportunity for you as well to, with your message and whatnot. And, what we're trying to do and what our, I think what the calling is, and it's Ricky's idea, and I love it. I love the concept. I love the idea. I hope that, we get more people that are impassioned about this and do something more about it. But he's trying to build a child ranch. This is a ranch for displaced children. This is a place where they can learn to grow fruits and vegetables and learn to take care of animals and have a lot of emotional and mental services and support, as well as clean and, housing for them, food, education, therapies as needed. He really is trying very hard to come up with creative ways. And I love this whole ranch style. And the reason why I love the whole ranch concept is because when you have children that have emotional, mental, and physical injuries and traumas in their past, there is something that animals do that help heal that trauma, whether it's a dog, a horse, a cow, a pig. There is something about taking care of animals that really have this way of healing. Gardening, same thing. Learning to grow something, being proud of what you did, knowing that you took this seed and put it into the earth and you grew this huge, massive garden. It's a reward. It has the reward sensories, that go off in these kids' heads. It's achievement. It's pride. It's being proud. It's giving them self-confidence. It's building up everything that was taken from them. And I really like this concept. I think that this doesn't need to just be special to the area where Ricky Beavers lives in. I think this needs to be something, a template that is done across this country and many areas that want to help children. This is one thing. This is one area that is increasing in numbers due to the alcohol problems, the drug problems, and everything else that is plaguing our country. And these parents are losing their life. They're being thrown in jail. They're losing their children due to neglect, abuses, and other things. That these drugs are it's an addiction. These people that are good people are doing despicable things because the drugs are making them do it. I know that. I understand that. I understand, having to drive into the bill store and making that detour. I understand. I identify and understand that. So regardless what the reason why these children get into the system, the bottom line is they are in the system and they need places to go. And this would be a group environment that doesn't feel like a group environment. It's a group environment that feels like a summer camp. And I think that is very important for these young children. So I hope, as he starts developing this and starts putting, where, tire meets pavement, when those things start happening, we're going to need to get behind Ricky Beavers and getting this stuff out. Not enough facilities, drug crisis. There isn't. And I was so angry I was so angry with Pam Bondi. I really was. I couldn't have been more angry with Pam Bondi. I like Pam Bondi. She was our attorney general here in Florida for quite a while. I've always highly respected Pam. I've met her several times, and I actually had got to eat lunch with her several times with different events and whatnot. And so it was always an honor to be around Pam Bondi. But the one thing that I really did not agree with her was the political posturing in shutting down the pill mills. Like, I understood it was a great feat to put in rules and regulations that shut down the pill mills that were infecting the state of Florida, and they were. It was insane. I understand it. What I didn't understand is you can't close a pill mill when you have a whole bunch of junkies and give them nothing, no resources whatsoever, and say, oh, we're taking your drugs away, sink or swim. That never works out well. All those pill people ended up going to H. Those people, a lot of those people that were at those pill mill lines that were living and breathing are now in the grave because of that horrible decision. It wasn't about the political posturing. It wasn't about trying to show that you're tough on crime and shutting. It's about what was right for the people and taking every single bit of pharmaceuticals away from the addicts and giving them nothing to deal with their withdrawals and detoxing. That had to have been the most excruciating thing that those people went through. I can't even imagine. I have to think of me having this nicotine problem. It's like, that kind of problem had to have been exacerbated by like 1,000. Like, these people were really struggling, and the type of detox that comes with that particular substance is really horrible. It's painful. It feels like your organs are shutting down. This is what's been described to me. Thank God I've never had to deal with it or know anything about it. Thank God. But this is what was explained to me: is you get diarrhea, you vomit, you get the shakes, you're hot, you're cold. You're talking about real significant, symptoms from what Pam Bondi did. She didn't think it through. And if she did think it through and chose to do this anyways, how cruel of a woman she is, in my opinion. Nobody should have had to go through all of that. They should have had a better policy in place to help them, because a lot of those people that were still living may have had a substance abuse problem, but they were living. When they made that drastic change in our law without giving any of the addicts resources, it put a lot of them in the grave because they had no choice, but because they didn't want to go through that pain. They didn't want to go through the withdrawal. They didn't want to go through that. They ended up going to something that ended up putting them into the ground. And that is the one thing, because it was about saving people. That was what the message, it wasn't about, it should never have been about just shutting down the pill mills. It should have been about saving people. And if that was what she was trying to achieve, it didn't work. It failed. And the reason why I'm so upset is because my county was hit very hard. We were the #1 epicenter of deaths in Florida, Manatee County, because of that rule. And you're talking about people that I grew up with, people I've known my entire life. It came in here and wiped people out. 2 brothers, literally almost a year apart. 2 brothers. It was hard. It was hard. It was horrible. It was something that I'll never forget. But we have to be, make sure something like this in the future, you have to use it as a life lesson, right? You got to use it as a life lesson. And the life lesson is when you hear one of your politicians putting something that's, you need to stand up and say, what are you planning on doing for the resources to help these people? Because we do not want you putting a policy in place that's going to put these people in the grave. And that's what happened. So I don't know why I went on to that tangent, but I did. And there you have it. There you have it, folks. So here's another one right here related to this whole probable cause affidavit. And so I brought this up because it did give us a great topic of conversation here. It says, so is it possible that the probable cause affidavit has typos and says Southeast Nevada Street instead of Northeast Valley Road? Is that why I'm confused how Bryan Kohberger got down the hill and nobody else seems to be? So they put this document here. I probably need to take that off. We'll open the phone lines back up in just a few moments. Just give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Actually, let me go ahead and finish well, we're already on here. Let me finish this up and I'll open the phones back up. Sorry, I went on a tangent and forgot we were there. And so this one says, and she highlighted the areas that she's talking about, but it says investigators were given access to video footage on the Washington State University Wazoo campus located in Pullman, Washington. Wazoo maintains a series of surveillance cameras on and near its campus. A review of that video indicates that approximately at 2:44 a.m. on November 13th, 2022, a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed on Wazoo surveillance cameras traveling north and southeast Nevada Street at Northeast Stadium Way. At approximately 2:53 a.m., a white sedan, which is consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman at State Road 270. State Road 270 connects Pullman to Moscow, Idaho. The camera footage from Pullman, Washington was provided to the same FBI forensic examiner. The forensic examiner identified the vehicle observed in Pullman, Washington as being a 2014 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. Now that you're reading it in this perspective, it does kind of give you that sense that maybe there was a typo. Maybe there was a typo. So let's look at where these places are. Let me look at where these places are. Let me get the Google Earth. Go back to so we want to go southeast Nevada Street and northeast Stadium Way. Southeast. Hold on. Oh, I can feel sneezes. I've been having horrible allergies. Who else has been having horrible allergies out there? My word. I don't sneeze very often. And when I do, it's usually achoo, achoo. You guys have heard me sneeze on here before. Maybe 3 sneezes tops. Bullhorn Betty doesn't sneeze more than 3 times. All right? I sneezed so much on Sunday at my best friend's house that I was literally frustrated. Have you guys ever had a sneeze like that where you're sneezing and you go, choo, 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 choo. Like it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. That was me. It would not stop. And I literally got so frustrated. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, okay, let's go back here and find out where we're at. So we're going to go to southeast Nevada Street and northeast Stadium Way. So let's find southeast Nevada Street. Southeast Nevada Street and north. Let's see. Is it northeast Stadium Way? Northeast Pullman. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see. We'll see. Looks like it's working. Okay, so there it is. That is southeast Nevada. Let me stop it. So that's southeast Nevada and Stadium Way. Why does that look so familiar? I mean, we were all over this place. So, I mean, that's probably why it looks so familiar, but there's something else with it. It's like I almost, either way. So there it is. There's your, let me see if I can increase this so you guys can see it a little bit closer. So there's the intersection right there. And that is Southeast Nevada. So he was here. So let's go back and read what Jen said. She believes that there's a typo. So we're at Northeast, and then it says that's at 244. And then they said that they drive southeast on Nevada Street. So it sounds like maybe it isn't a typo. Maybe it isn't a typo. So it's saying, because there's multiple surveillance cameras all through that track. So when we come over here, let's find out where Stadium, which one's Stadium and which one isn't. Back up just a tad. I need to find out which one is. It's not telling us what road is what for some reason. So I'm thinking that this looks like Stadium Way right here, and this looks like Nevada Street, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It just doesn't want to. Let me see if I can put some more. I'm not sure, but it looks like come on, let's move this over here. I'm trying to find out. It's showing me that's it. Let me find out where Nevada is. Let me just do Nevada. We know where Stadium. Let me just go do Nevada. Let's see if we can do that. Because I have a funny feeling I think we just answered our question here. Okay, so I have to think the big road is Nevada Street. And that's Stadium Way. So if he was still going southeast, okay, let's make this north. Let's put this north. Okay, so that's due north. So southeast would be this right here. This over here. Can you guys see my stuff? So it is possible that he continued southeast on Nevada Street past Stadium. So I think that's what I was trying to see. Could it have been a typo? I don't know if it is a typo. I think basically all they're saying is he proceeded on Southwest Nevada. Let's keep reading what else it says. Nevada Street to State Road 270. So let's go Nevada Street and find out where. Let's go ahead and pin this real quick so we can see it in give me just a second. So we'll put this, and this is what would it be? It'd be northwest, no, southwest, southeast. Okay, so southeast. Let me get back over here. So we're going to put it over here, and we're going to put southeast, Nevada, and northeast Stadium. Oh, project name. This would be Idaho 4. Hold on, let me go to Idaho 4. New project. Shoot. BK Path of Travel. That's what we'll call this one. BK Path of Travel. Come on, hands. There we go. Okay, so my placement is going to be southeast Nevada and northeast Stadium. Okay, so now we got that in there. Put large so we can see it. There we go. So now we have that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back here and we're going to look at northeast Nevada Street to State Road 270. And that should give us an idea of which direction he was driving. So there it is, right there. Let's go ahead and pull this up. So there's 270 right there. So you see where they caught him, and then he still proceeds. But it could be, because it looks like in order for him to get here, it looks like he would have to go not southeast. As a matter of fact, it looks like due west on there to get to 270, because there's 270. So yeah, I guess there could be a typo here. Could be a typo here, but I'm not sure. But there you have it. So I wanted to bring this up and show you guys that as well. And then lastly, family of 2 Idaho. Oh, you guys can't see this. Hold on, let me play this. There we go. Here we go. And it says family of 2 U of I murder victims will seek the death penalty for the accused killer. And we know who those 2 families are. It's the Mogen and Goncalves family. I don't know what's going on with Kernodle and Chapin. To me, it sounds like Chapin family has just they just want to stuff this away. Again, this is not shaming them. This is just their personalities and how they deal with trauma. And they just want to push this away. They don't want to think about it. They want nothing to do with this stuff. I'm sorry, but I hope if my family's watching here, I want you to fight. I want you to fight for me. If something horrible happens to me, I don't want you going and singing Kumbaya. Okay. That's just me. I don't want my family going and singing Kumbaya. I want them there at every freaking hearing. I want them fighting for me. I want them seeking justice for me. And I want whoever hurt me to have to face the toughest penalty the law prescribes for their crime. That is for me. And I know for a fact that my family would stand up to the plate and take this on. I am not one of these kind little sweet people, sweet peas in a pod, that are going to say, oh, well, we just need to pray for him. My family will forgive the assailant. They'll forgive the assailant serving their toughest sentence possible. I truly believe my family will give that person forgiveness, but not before they have to answer to God. That's for me. So I know that the America's family, I don't know. I don't know the other side. I don't know how you can know that your son was brutally murdered and you don't want to you don't want to be inconvenienced with going to court. I guess there's a little disdain and resentment and judgment on my part, and I understand it, and I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. I am who I am. And those are my glaring defects. Like, I don't understand that. And I just don't understand it. I hope the Chapin family gets a backbone. I hope that they go and fight for their loved one. I really do. This whole passive, it doesn't work. Being kind to a monster doesn't work. I don't know how to explain it. And if you're hurting because your loved one is no longer here, let your voice be heard. Get it out in a positive way. The most positive way you can get that anger and frustration and hurt out and seeking justice and closure is to know that you were a part of making sure that the person that harmed you, harmed your family, harmed your loved one, is going to get the toughest penalty imaginable. And that should be something that we all fight for when our families are victims of crime. And I really do hope that maybe we misunderstand the Chapin family. Maybe they just don't want to be part of the media circus. Well, I hope that they're attending online. They have made ways for them to come and be a part of the hearings online. Fight for your son. Fight for your brother. He deserves his voice. And every time you take that voice and you hide it, you're taking his voice and further pushing it away. So I hope the Chapin family hears this. He has a voice. He has a right to be heard. And I hope you allow your brother and your son to be heard and seek justice. I really do hope that. But I don't want people, being nasty to the Chapin family. The Chapin family has obviously been through enough, and I think they've earned the right not to go to court if they so choose. They've earned that. They've lost the most important. They've lost a priceless priceless figure in their life. And if anybody has earned the right to make that decision, they have. And so do other families. I just personally don't understand it. I just don't. My family is a family of fighters. We claw, scratch, and fight for our family. And we're very loyal. We may not like each other 100% of the time, but we sure do love each other, right? We sure do love each other. And you don't want to meet my family. My family's crazy. I haven't even met all of them yet. I haven't. We got to go to Ancestry DNA to find our family. Our family is like literally across this country. So let's just see what this has to say here on this American Wire here. And they're just basically saying the families of 2 University of Idaho have indicated that they plan to file motions calling for the death penalty for the suspected killer, Bryan Kohberger. Thank God they're going to intervene and force the hand, at least have them entertain it. I hope they do. Previously reported the University of Idaho students Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Maddie Mogen, and Kaylee Goncalves were found stabbed to death in their off-campus rental home on November 13th in Moscow, Idaho. Weeks after the murder suspect, Bryan Kohberger was arrested in December, and we all remember that. Fast forwarding to Saturday, when News Nation broke the latest bombshell in the tragedy, the family of the Kaylee Goncalves and Maddie Mogen, victims of the Idaho college killings, are filing notice indicating their desire to seek the death penalty on Bryan Kohberger, the accused killer. Thank God. Thank God. And you know what? It's because, let's be honest with you. It's because of Steve and Christy that we are here today with this. They have pushed this. You guys got to understand, Maddie was like a child to them. Maddie, they are kind of stepping into the place because Maddie's mom is so distraught. She is so stinking distraught. She couldn't even go and pick up her ashes of her daughter. That's how distraught she was. She wanted the girls to stay together. This has been very hard on both of their families. They are a family that chose each other. And I have to think right now that the Mogen family has to be just relieved that they have a wonderful family like the Goncalves helping them fight. I just, that wasn't just 2 girls being best friends. That was 2 families being best friends. 2 families choosing to blend themselves, And I don't know how to explain it. Their friendship, their family, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Beautifully tragic. It was beautifully tragic. I can't express that any more than that. Hey, Faithful, and nice to see you. So we spoke with prosecutors on the case. Mr. Thompson, he's going to meet with all the families individually and then make a decision based on that. So the Goncalves family obviously supports the death penalty, and we knew that. I can tell you that. I knew that before I left Idaho. They want justice for the death of their daughter and Maddie. And I wish they would start saying their daughters. I know it's not, proper, but at the end of the day, they considered both of those girls their daughters. They considered the family an extended family, period. That was their family. The family of the Goncalves and Mogens have indicated they plan to sue the city of Moscow. The families of slain student Kaylee Goncalves, Maddie Mogen may seek damages against the city for the murder of their daughter, according to the notices which were dated May 3rd and May 11th, respectively. The notices do not specify what kind of claims the family will make. They say the potential dollar figure for damages are undetermined at this time. The establishment outlets reported earlier this last week. And I got to say, also the damage, the personal damage. And I just want to put this out there before we kind of close and conclude our show for the day. But I want you to understand the gravity of this. People called Steve Goncalves a murderer. Newsweek brought an FBI person on there. Never heard of this guy before. I heard he's well known. And he was analyzing the case, and he's like, well, how does Steve knows so much information about this case? Was he there? He seems like he was there. And I was absolutely mortified and sickened that I literally went live and just went off on them for ever even imagining. You know why he had that information? Because he worked his butt off to get it. That's why he had the information. Because he didn't listen to law enforcement and say, hey, back off, buddy. We'll take care of this. No, this is his daughter. This is his family. No, I'm not going to sit on my hands and do absolutely nothing. No, I'm not going to trust law enforcement to handle this for me. Maybe I should, but no, I'm not. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to find out every bit of information I can personally find out. I know who she hung out with. I know her friends' numbers. I know how to dig this information. I want to know what's on the cameras of the people across the street. And you know what they did? They went to the people across the street and got that footage. And then argued with law enforcement about the timing because they had the footage and saw exactly when the girls got home. I'm sorry, but if anything happens to me, that's the kind of fight I want. That's the kind of fight I want. So there are damages because even when he was being accused of all these horrible things that law enforcement knew he didn't do, law enforcement never once, not one time, came out and said, there is no way Steve Goncalves did this to his daughter. They didn't mind coming out for the kids and saying, you know, you guys are beating up these kids. You know, they're all been cleared. But law enforcement didn't do that for Steve because they were upset with Steve, right? He was nosing around in their investigation. It wouldn't be surprising to me if that wasn't a hit piece for Steve Goncalves to back off. I've had hit pieces on me. Vanity Fair. Didn't stop me. Didn't stop me. They tell me that I'm manufacturing information, but couldn't say one manufactured information I provided and could only allude to an offensive thumbnail I posted about whether Dylan could save Xana or not. That's it. Hit piece. Means absolutely nothing. Means absolutely nothing. So anyways, guys, I want you guys today, please pray for the families of the victims. Please pray for even like Ethan Chapin's family. I really hope they're not giving up. I really do hope they're not giving up. And I hope that they speak up for their loved one. He deserves to have a voice, and nobody, literally nobody, can give him that voice but his family. With that, guys, don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another. But before we leave, don't leave just yet. Before we leave, today we wanted to give our channel sponsors. We booted Be Betty fan off our team for about a split second, then we added her back. And she had a 13-month milestone. She's been looking at this ugly mug for 13 months, and she's been doing it lovely and willingly. Good morning, she says. Good morning, good morning, Betty, and everyone. BHB, best channel ever. Thank you. We have Brian Knott 5 and Evie saying fist bump. So you guys are amazing people. I am glad you guys came over to see me this morning. We're going to get back on, we're always on try to stay on track and on, on target with all of our stuff, but it's been a long weekend. I have to be honest. I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes that is unrelated to the true crime. So I'm having to deal with that. No nicotine. And for very first show, I think I'm doing it all okay, all okay. And it really, I'm feeling brokenhearted because, Be Betty fan is 13 months. That means we missed her birthday. We missed her Bullhorn Betty channel birthday. And so a big shout out to Be Betty fan for us being awful friends and not even acknowledging you for your 1 year Bullhorn Betty birthday. So anyways, guys, I love you. God bless each and every one of you. Don't forget to use those milestones. I know sometimes I forget to, but I'm trying to get better. But you guys have an amazing day, and God bless each and every one of you. I love you. And until next time, just be kind to people.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.